Many of you have probably seen this news yesterday, of course, but I didn't want to have to push back my Beards and Cars review of the BMW 7 Series, so check that one out if you like the real-world side of the channel as well. But this is some very exciting new news, for some of us at least. Some won't be as interested because it is, of course, an electric performance car. For me, as I've said before, I am actually not against electric cars. I love certain electric cars, just not for the reasons why they're marketed as. To me, electric vehicles, especially motorcycles and supercars, have some fantastic advantages. Just look at some of the lap records that have been broken, some crazy acceleration times, and in some cases, if you really do it properly, they can be as engaging to drive as some conventional engines, but you have to do it right, and that's one of the reasons why I'm a big fan of what Hyundai is doing. They're trying to, or Hyundai I guess I should say, they're trying to not just make it another electric toaster of a car, they're trying to make it something with, in some cases, supercar levels of performance, but which is pretty practical as well. And despite the fact that on the surface, a 2.2 ton hot hatch sounds utterly insane, which is what the Ioniq 5N weighs, it's actually a pretty damn good car, and basically everyone is saying that. It has simulated gear changes, which I'm not entirely sold on. I would quite like to review one of these in real life, so I'll see what I can do there. But on the other hand, 641 horsepower in this kind of platform is very, very cool. And a few months back, we spoke, of course, about Hyundai potentially having a partnership with Gran Turismo and bringing some cars to the game. Well, now we have some further light on something which some of you may have noticed already in GT7, which is, of course, the prize screen upcoming in December had a hidden vehicle wrapped up under a nice little bow. And yesterday, some folks on the Discord alerted me to the fact that this has actually now been seen. It's going to be the Hyundai. The Ioniq 5N is coming to Gran Turismo, and I'm actually really looking forward to it. I know it's not cool to say that about electric cars, but I'm really keen to see what this thing can do. And obviously it has the same drawbacks of pretty much every electric car in the game, which is that you can't really use it for any event which factors in fuel range, for the most part at least. But even so, I find myself using two electric vehicles in particular quite a bit in seasonal events, etc. in GT7. Number one, of course, is the Tesla, which is fantastic at around the 500 point level, sometimes even lower. And for events that are up around 700 points, but again don't need fuel range, I actually get quite a bit of use, believe it or not, out of the Volkswagen, the IDR. Put it on some lower tyres, restrict the power, you've still got basically the same top end performance, and it's so much fun to drive. So this does actually have potentially quite a bit of use. Of course, it's all-wheel drive, you have a huge amount of power, huge amount of torque, it's instant torque as well, so potentially it should be at the very least really quick over short bursts. It should be fantastic off-road as well. I'd be curious to know if it will have any visual upgrades, of course being more of a road car, but even without it, I'm already interested in the car. It's already won me over, at least on the surface of things, and I like that Hyundai is, in addition to some other brands as well, at least trying to go above and beyond. They're not just making these cars to appeal to the green group, if you will, they're making cars that are actually trying to appeal to petrol heads, which is kind of a term that doesn't work here, but you know what I mean, to driving enthusiasts. And although for the most part I wouldn't say so far that any particular electric car would necessarily win me over more than an electric motorcycle can, because it just suits a motorbike so well, having that instant ripping acceleration, but for a car it does have plenty of use when in the right application, if you will. The Volkswagen just undeniably proves that. The IDR just crushing lap records, the Rimac of course as well being astonishingly quick, and a number of others as well. In terms of when this one's coming to the game, well, we don't know for certain at the moment, but it just so happens that if we were to get an update in December, a Christmas patch if you will, it would be the day after Christmas. That would be the usual date, the final Thursday. So they do kind of have a perfect opportunity there if they wanted to add it, even if it was only maybe like a 3-car patch, with the Hyundai being one of them and maybe a couple of others too. We'll have to see, that's all conjecture of course. For now though, we do have confirmation of at least this being a new car in the game. I for one am looking forward to it. Of course, thoughts and opinions will be mixed because of the nature of the car, so I'd love to hear your thoughts down below. And that's it for this bit of news. I'll see you next time for more, and thanks for watching.